Hello, my friends. This is Julie, or Jules Caldwell, as my close friends call me, and I hope you will too. I'm really excited to be here with you today with my good friend Sam Munro. We're here for yet another inspiration showcase conversation. Really, the easiest way I can describe the inspiration showcase is just a conversation between two amazing women who are just listening to whatever their heart says they need to do. So I'm really excited to be here again and to have Sam as my guest. And Sam and I have been connected for a while. She was a longtime employee at Carleton University where we both worked together. But there was a bit of a stirring inside, and she had a dream to support women in their health journey. And she's doing it full time now as an online nutrition and fitness coach. So super excited to have you here today, Sam. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks, Jules.
It's amazing. Let's just jump right in. I feel like we're going to probably talk for a while here, but tell us about your dream. Like you've been working on the side when you were in your full-time job, and you have this dream to support women in their health journey. What's your why?
That's such a great question. And I think first and foremost, my why is, well, the reason that I'm doing this is to impact as many women as possible. But I think the reason, and the more I kind of dig into it and the more I, reflect on it, it's really just to help women find their purpose. And I think that was my journey. I really was able to find my purpose through health and wellness. It felt like a long journey, but, by saying that, I mean, by achieving my health goals and finally, making progress in terms of, my fitness and discovering strength training and like that empowerment and that confidence, I was able to then pursue my passion in terms of my career. And so I think like unlocking that potential is something that I think every woman deserves. And, being able to help them find that through health and fitness is just so fulfilling.
Oh, my friend, you are like talking my language there. Unlocking their potential, helping women find their purpose. And what I love about what you just shared is one of the things that I do in the work I do with women is really about getting to the core and reminding ourselves who we are, because I think we get lost sometimes in the titles or the roles or the pressures that society somewhat intentionally or unintentionally puts on us, or that we choose to hold on to. And so I love what you're saying about this idea of, finding your purpose and really just unlocking what that is that gets you excited. And at the core, outside of, your own sort of mental health and well-being, health and fitness plays such a key role. If our mind isn't healthy, if our body isn't healthy, we're not going to have the energy to do what we need to do.
Mm-hmm. It's that 100%. And what I've discovered through working with clients is that the mental toll that it can take on us when we're so focused on the number on the scale and achieving a certain body weight or a certain, body composition, it's so draining. And, I was actually looking back at notes that I had taken back in 2019 when I was, struggling with achieving my health goals. And I literally wrote, the mental energy that I put into focusing on, losing weight and looking a certain way would be so much better used literally in anything else. And so looking back at that, it was like, I was absolutely right. My, 2019 Sam was bang on. And then I found when I was able to achieve those goals for myself, that's when I really started seriously considering starting my own business and, pursuing other things, because I wasn't as mentally focused on, the scale and how my body looked.
Oh my gosh. I think there's so many women who can relate to what you just said. So if you don't mind, I would love to talk a little bit. I call it like listening to that still small voice inside, like that thing that's calling to us. And so tell us a little bit more about how in your journey you started to hear that small voice, that thing that was calling to you as you started working on, I guess, sort of the mindset actually about what you were doing.
Yeah. That's such a great question. And I definitely have heard that little voice throughout the years, and it's gotten stronger, and I've started to listen to her a little bit more. But I think it really started when I was in university. I was actually introduced to strength training through one of my university roommates. And when I started doing that, I realized, oh, wow, like this is something that is so empowering and I feel so good. And I didn't know I was capable of this. And so that kind of like tweaked something for me. And then I actually was at Carleton. It was a boot camp class that I was doing. And one of the instructors, she was absolutely incredible. She was so encouraging. I remember going up to her after one of the classes and asking her, I'm doing all these workouts, but what should I be eating after the class? And we had a really great conversation, and that's kind of what sparked the nutrition side of things for me. And I kept in the back of my mind being like, I want to know more about this. I want to know more about this. And it just kind of spiraled from there. I became a fitness instructor. I did my nutrition certification. And after all of that was done, again, that little voice in the back of my mind was saying, like, I want to work one-on-one with women. I want to have an impact and be able to like really support them to achieve their goals. So yeah, I'm still, as much as possible leaning into that voice when she decides to speak up.
I know sometimes our voice like talks loudly to us, right? It's like you've got to do this. You've got to take that leap of faith. So if I talk about taking a leap of faith, let's talk about the fact that you were a longtime employee at Carleton. That's where we met. I worked there in my day job. And then you took this leap of faith. You listened to that voice and you just sort of plunged from, hey, full-time employee at Carleton to I am going to rock this world and start my own business. And what was that like for you? And I'm asking this partially for me as well, because I'm entertaining doing the same thing and it's terrifying.
Yes.
And exciting at the same time.
Yeah, it is incredibly scary. There's so much uncertainty, and the uncertainty doesn't go away once you take the leap. But I think it got to a point, I had spent so much time analyzing and weighing the pros and cons and working through in my mind all of the possible scenarios, and I just decided, so I had heard this really amazing, I don't know if it's a quote, it's a concept of life being 50-50, and how 50% of the time is going to be amazing and wonderful and positive, and the other 50% there's going to be discomfort. There's going to be, maybe some negativity, things like that. But that we get to choose our discomfort. And so for me, the discomfort of staying in a role where, I wasn't able to have the impact that I wanted to have, versus the discomfort of, being self-employed and leaving, a secure job. I wanted to choose the other path. And so that kind of helped me realize, it may not be the easy route. I don't expect it to be, but I think the benefits are going to outweigh the risks.
So inspiring, Sam. And I've just love to hear that story. And I think there's probably lots of us, again, if I go back to the whole, not only our roles and titles, sometimes things that can weigh us down, but the habitual jobs or routines or things that we do. And then we feel guilty because what if we leave, what's the impact going to be, or those kinds of things. And I think at some point we have to stop and put ourselves first. But I love what you said. It wasn't just like this impromptu plan of, hey, I'm going to do this. You gave the thought, analyzed, maybe a little over analyzed, because I can relate to that. But you did it. And I think that's part of what I want to hear other women to hear in this is there comes a point where you can't ignore that calling, that thing that says, this is what's going to be passionate. This is going to help me help others find their place in the world. And so kudos to you for just taking that leap of faith and going for it. That's so exciting.
Thank you. And it was, there was a lot of mental turmoil in, the months and weeks leading up to, making the decision. But, once the decision was made, it was literally like a weight had been lifted, and like a sense of peace just kind of set in. And it was like, you know what, that to me is the sign that I'm making the right choice. And I'm still scared, but I think I'm making the right decision for me.
Yeah, I love it. So Sam, tell us, did you do this journey alone? Did you link arms with people to, like you talked about the fact that you took fitness classes and then you reached out to some instructors there, but did you link arms with others as you went on your journey to get you to where you're at? And what
Mhm.
impact, if any, did that have for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are numerous people that have, supported me throughout the journey. And I think one of the big ones that really kind of gave me the confidence to start my own coaching business was I did what's called the health mindset coaching certification. And just the woman who leads that certification, it really is about the mindset piece when it comes to health coaching and health behavior change. So the skills and the tools that I learned through that really kind of gave me the confidence to be like, okay, I can do this. And then, of course, my partner has been such an incredible supporter since day one. He's been on the roller coaster with me. He's seen the ups and the downs, and continues to be my biggest supporter. And then I've also recently invested in a business mentor. So having her, she actually started as my nutrition and fitness coach. And then we've transitioned to more of that business mentorship relationship. And, she's really there again through thick and thin, and to really provide me with a sounding board, and someone who's kind of been, I'm walking kind of in her footsteps, so to speak. So she's where I'd like to be down the road. Yeah. And, having her guidance has been, so impactful for me as well.
I love hearing about you talking about the importance of mentorship, because I think, and just even just linking arms and having a support community, because I don't know about you, but this isn't my first rodeo in terms of my doing business. I've had a few different businesses. But what's different this time for me is I made the decision to not do it by myself. I made the decision to ask for help, to reach out to others, to have mentors who, because, we don't know it all, and we can't know it all. And so,
Yeah.
having a community around you that lifts you up, supports you, can ride the roller coaster with you, and give you insight, I think is a really important part of the journey for sure.
Absolutely.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say the community that I've found on Instagram, which is where, mainly the main platform that I use,
Yeah.
just with other online health and fitness coaches, has been incredible.
Yeah.
There's from what I've experienced, there's no competition. There's a willingness to support one another, to collaborate, to share, what's working, what are the challenges, and just to kind of encourage one another, because it's still a new space, and it's a newish career. And so it can feel kind of like, a lot of people don't necessarily understand what I do. So having other women in particular who are doing that work is just such a great support network as well.
I love that. So in terms of the women that you serve with this passion that you have, so if I recall correctly, you're looking at your target audience, if I can use business speak, is sort of women in their 30s. Is there a reason why you chose that age group?
So I think part of the reason was because I felt like in my 30th year was when I really committed to, finally achieving my health and wellness goals. And,
Yeah.
I don't want to say stopping the excuses, because there's so much more to it than that. The mindset piece was a big one, kind of breaking some of the cycles that I had been in for so long. But yeah, the start of my 30s was kind of when everything started happening. So that's part of the reason. But another part of it is really just to kind of try to niche down a little bit. But, I have clients in their 20s, up to their 60s. So, it's really any woman who wants my support, I'm more than happy to support. But I guess that's kind of the short answer.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I think it's important to sort of get clear on who we're trying to serve. And, I think women of all ages could benefit from this, but totally get that focus in. Because I think you're right. In the 20s, we're still adventuring. And not that we don't adventure in our 30s, but there's a little bit more reality that comes with what we do. And it's like, okay, maybe I need to sort of, get things on track for me and figure out where I want to go. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to keep you too much longer because I feel like we could talk for a while about this. But do you have any events or activities or anything like that you have coming up that you might want to share with the audience?
So what I'm really hoping for 2023 is to do a lot more of like free masterclasses and workshops, things like that, live on Zoom, just to provide as much value and education as possible. And I'm also kind of toying with the idea of doing some virtual fitness classes, and definitely going to be launching a Facebook group that'll be totally free. And again, just to create that sense of community, because I think, again, like, as you know very well, that having that support network and that community is so important. So as those things are finalized, I guess the best way to be kept in the loop is I do have a free newsletter that I send out weekly. So that would kind of be the best way to stay in the loop.
All right, awesome. And my friends can find you on Instagram as well. You've got quite an active account there it's just coming across the screen right now @_Coach Sam. Check that out right now.
Yes.
Sam, as we wrap things up here, what words of wisdom would you have for women who, I don't know, let's like from any perspective here, but like for women who are thinking about their health. I know just even myself alone in the last week, I've talked to like 3 different women who are thinking about their health, frustrated with it. What's some word of wisdom that you could share to help keep them motivated and not give up? And if there's anybody out there who's wanting to start a business in this area, what advice would you share with them? That was a lot to ask in one wrap up question.
So I think in terms of the health and wellness side of things, I would remind everyone watching that every little bit counts. So,
Yeah.
And I really encourage my clients, especially like, exactly. All of those habits are so important. And especially as we go into, the holiday season, I encourage my clients to focus on 3 non-negotiables. And really make these, super achievable so that you can feel like even when life gets hectic and things come up, as they no doubt will, you can stay committed to your health goals. So it may just be like, getting your water in, getting outside for 5 or 10 minutes, getting to bed at a decent time, but making them easy and achievable, but things that you can commit to kind of no matter the circumstance. My clients have found that really helpful, just to kind of make sure they're not totally neglecting their health when life gets a little chaotic.
Well, and I think that's important. And I love the simplicity of what you're suggesting for women, Sam, because sometimes I think in our minds, we think it has to be so much more. And it's really not. It's as simple as drink your water. And I've been told, half your body weight in ounces worth of water. Well, that's a lot of water to drink in a day for me. But it's simple things like that. And so when I find myself struggling, that's what I do. What's the one thing I can do today? And those 3 things you identified, those are foundational. Those are things that just help us no matter what. And so if we can get that foundation set, everything else sort of comes from there, right?
Yeah. And I think we can, there's a lot of kind of black and white thinking, or like all or nothing thinking when it comes to nutrition and fitness in particular. And I think, giving ourselves grace, it's not going to be 100% perfect 100% of the time. I would argue that it's probably never going to be perfect. So yeah, doing those things that we can do, and being gentle with ourselves is really important.
Okay.
I also want to make sure I answer your other question.
I was just going to say, I took us away from the last question, but go for it.
Yeah, no, it's such a good one. And I think what has really kind of helped me get started was reminding myself that even when you're questioning yourself or you're wondering like, do I have what it takes? Or, are there already too many people doing what I want to do? The world needs your unique gifts. And I think the way that you deliver whatever it is you want to deliver, I'm one in a million nutrition and fitness coaches, but I truly believe that the way that I serve my clients and the way that I show up is unique. And there are people out there who need, me specifically. And so I really want to encourage anyone who is thinking about starting a business or some other venture. The world needs your specific gifts and talents, and, don't leave your people waiting, because they're waiting for you.
Oh, I love it. Don't leave your people waiting. Sam, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and having this conversation. I can't wait to follow your journey as you sort of grow and evolve, and maybe we can have you back one day and hear what's going on in the next phase of where you go with the business. And congratulations to you for doing this.
Thank you.
My friends who are watching, check out Sam Munro on her Instagram @_Coach Sam. Where can we sign up for the newsletter? Where do we find out about that? On your Insta page?
So if you go on Instagram, there's a link in my bio for the sign up.
Cool. All right. You'll have to check that out. And so thank you again for joining us this evening or today. Sorry, today. Mixed up. I don't even know what month or year or day it is anymore. But my friends, that was a great opportunity for you to be reminded about the simplicity of the things that we do in our everyday life that help our health and our well-being. And if you can, follow Sam, check out what she's doing. Don't give up on the thing that you're excited about. Don't give up on that still small voice. Listen to it and let it guide you, and link arms with other women, other people in your community who can support you and guide you. In living and loving the life we live, I'll leave you for now, and I can't wait to see you in our next conversation. Thanks, my friends, and thanks, Sam, for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.